What's up guys, welcome back to yet another video on Gather Creation. Today we're gonna talk about what are the things you need to pack when you're coming to Canada. Let's roll it. Starting up the list with the most important thing, a universal converter. So when you come to Canada, it's not the same electrical voltage which we use in our country. Canada uses 110 volt to 120 volt power sockets, which are the same as USA. So if you're coming to Canada, make sure you have at least 2 or 3 power adapters or the universal travel adapter, which will help you charge your phones to do anything in Canada before you buy another phone, which will come with a regular socket. But if you're coming for the first time, don't forget to carry an adapter converter, link down below. Second most important thing, when you move to Canada, first 3 months you won't get any medical coverage depending upon which province you go, but most of the province won't give you any medical coverage within the first 3 months of your landing. So my recommendation is that you carry some basic medicines when you're coming to Canada, which will help you survive, apart from your travel insurance, which will take care for the first 90 days. But general medicines are always helpful. You can easily buy it from your home country, and when you come to Canada, they'll take care of you. Now, few people will differ with this one, but again, my personal experience says a lot of people talk about winter clothing. Do not bring it from your home country. It's always better to buy it from Canada. Now, as much as I like that, I still would say a basic winter clothing, you can always bring it from your home country, just because in Canada, where winter is really harsh in certain provinces, it's all about layering up. It's not just about one big jacket or one heavy jacket. You can always layer up. So 2 layers of regular winter clothing and then a jacket on top, if you really feel that cold, will help you. So getting basic winter clothing, there's no harm in getting that. Plus you don't have to purchase it because you already have it, right? So it's always good to carry some regular winter clothing, and then you can always buy some when you are in Canada. Now, in case of kids, if you are a parent, it's always good to carry a stroller with you, just because initial few months you'll be doing a lot of walking, and a stroller handy is always good, just because you don't want your kids to get tired. Plus it's also helpful for you. So if your kid is less than 5-6 years old, it's always good to carry a stroller. You won't be charged for it when you're bringing it with your luggage, and it's very helpful in the initial few months. So do not forget that. Also pretty specific with kids. If you have kids, it's always good to carry some basic toys, just so that it keeps your kid occupied when you are settling in Canada, and you have enough to keep your kid entertained. So, and it won't occupy too much of the luggage. Again, it depends upon how much luggage are you bringing, but I would say bring few basic toys so that your kid is entertained and occupied, and then you can always buy some once you're settled in Canada. Do not forget that too. Now, the next up on the list may be useful for certain people, maybe not for some, is you can always carry certain amount of resumes with you. Your CVs, your resumes, biodata, it's always good to carry some, just because when you move to Canada, you are settling in, trying to look for a job. It's always good to carry 10-15 resumes with you. It's easy to print it out back home, and then when you come over here, if you need certain copies urgently, you always have some. I'm not saying that there are no shops around, but again, it's a hassle for the person who has just moved to Canada. It's always good to have 10-15 handy the Canadian version of your resumes. If you have it, that would be great. That helps in settling down. It helps you find jobs where you just want to go in right away and then do it, rather than waiting and going and taking an extra step to go to a shop, getting the printouts and then doing it. It's expensive, but it's not the end of the world. It just saves an extra step. So for people who think that this is helpful, they can always get a few resumes attached or any other document they want, which will help them in landing. It's always helpful to get some. The next most important thing is when you're coming to Canada, it's always good to carry a small umbrella with you. Trust me, it's gonna help you big time. It rains a lot here, or it snows sometimes in certain provinces, of course, but it's always good to carry an umbrella. What it will do is it will save you from getting wet and your kids from getting sick, so it's always good. Doesn't occupy a lot of space and very helpful. One more thing to be recommended is a power bank. And when you're new to Canada, you're on the go so many times. What will happen is, since you're doing a lot of research on the phone when you are outside your home, what you'll be doing is you'll be using your phone. So it's always good to have an extra set of batteries, a power bank with you, so that your phone doesn't die and your search never stops because of the battery. So it's okay to carry one power bank with you. The next thing, something which I keep getting, like a lot of my friends keep asking me about, is can I carry my phone with myself? Why not? You can always carry your phone with your home country phone number. What it helps is keeping your number active. Number two, it helps you getting the net banking passwords, one-time OTP pins to do any transactions back home. And you can always do a minimum recharge from time to time to make sure that it's still working, and when you go back to your home country on vacation, your saved number is still active. So that's the beauty of keeping that for a very minimal cost. So why not? Next up on the list, very important for people who drink and smoke. It's hard to find certain brands over here, plus they may cost you 3 or 4 times. So you can always bring a carton of it to Canada, and while you're settling in, that can help you go through that time, and then eventually you can switch to another brand or you can find a way out. But it's always helpful to get a carton, a case, whatever allows from the home country to bring to Canada. That will at least help you in 2-3 months, and it will save a little bit cost. Now we'll talk about certain things which, as per me, you should never bring, or rather you should not consider to bring when you're coming to Canada. Things like spices, it's not worth it just because you find everything over here. You can go to any Walmart, most of the shops will have it, or you can go to individual grocery stores like Indian grocery stores or Asian grocery stores. You will find each and every stuff. So there is no point of bringing any spices. Again, if you have more space, you can always load some, but you can find each and everything over here. The second in the list is a lot of people bring cookers and tawas from India. I mean, your choice, I'm not denying it. You can find everything over here. The plus point to that is when you do not bring it from your home country, what it does is it saves you some space, it saves you some extra weight which you can utilize for other stuff, and then you can buy these over here. Because when you're settling in, obviously you're not gonna cook from day one. So you can always use that time to buy another thing when you're doing grocery shopping, and you can get those for a good price, nothing expensive, and it's good to go. That's it from my side, guys. If you think I missed anything, please mention in the comment section below. That way everybody gets help. And take care of yourself. See you in the next one. Peace out.